Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Pig Brain.
Hello everybody, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you from me, Pig Brain. You're with me here today at Tata Crucible's Corporate Quiz for 2021 as we bring to you cluster number 8. It basically is the rest of Maharashtra excluding Mumbai and of course includes Goa. So it's a really big terrain. Traditionally when we were doing the ground events, this would largely be Goa and Pune. But now, given that it's digital, people from all over the region do take part. Before we move any further, a quick reminder that all these contestants are part of the protocols that have been put in place for fair play. It's really nice of them to have given us a declaration, which also enables us to individually monitor them on individual screens through the event management team. 5 seconds is the duration of a question. That's pretty much the time that they get to process what I'm asking them. And there's no second attempt on the buzzer. All questions, 10 of them on the buzzer, 1 if they get it right, 1 if they get it wrong, and the best 3 will go into the final. For those of you watching this quiz as part of the audience, do remember, we'll not be able to show you the buzzer indicator lights in this wildcard. We'll have that in the final. And of course, the audience questions too will be stacked up towards the final. 3 will move through to the final. If we are ready, we'll quickly take a look at our 6 contenders before we get started with this wild card. Here today, as our first contender with us, representing Finnick Consulting, is Yutish. Welcome, Yutish, to this final. Welcome to you. Neighboring him as our second finalist from Alpus Consulting is Aniruddha. Welcome, Aniruddha. As our third contestant here today, representing Thyssen Group with us, is Aditya. Welcome, Aditya. Across on the other side, representing Shivraj overseas with us today is Rahul. Welcome to you. As we cut across to another technology giant, and many coming in typically from the Pune region, representing Cognizant is Anthony. Welcome, Anthony. And finally, completing our lineup from BMC Software is Siddharth. Those then, ladies and gentlemen, are 6 finalists as we are getting started with the wildcard to identify 3 finalists from the rest of Maharashtra and Goa. If you're ready, question number 1. Which giant in the digital space has come up with a Kisan store that has been launched recently, which will make agri inputs such as seeds, farm tools, etc. available to buyers at very competitive prices? It's a very innovative decision by an e-commerce giant. Kisan Store. Anthony's gone for it. Yes, Anthony?
I'm guessing it is Amazon.
+1. No nonsense first answer from him. He gets a +1. As we go to the next one. Manushi Chiller and her sister were roped in by a Tata company brand on a digital video specifically to promote Raksha Bandhan. Which brand from the world or which company from the world of Tatas tied up with this upcoming actor and star? Siddharth is giving it a shot. Yeah, Siddharth?
Tanishq or Titan?
Company Titan, give it to you. +1 to you on that. Titan is good enough to cover for yourself. As we go to the third one, here we go. It's a hyper-local delivery system. They launched something with parliamentarian Sunny Deol as recently as August this year. The whole idea of these people was to show the sturdiness of their delivery. And they could not find anybody but this actor, well, known for his sturdiness and now parliamentarian. Which delivery service roped in Sunny Deol, bringing him back into our memories? Hyper-local delivery services. keywords being hyper-local. All these are new adjectives we learn. Nobody on the 5-second ambit there. Oh, Siddharth has. Yes, Siddharth, just about.
Grofers.
-1 to you. The answer, Dunzo. You got -1 on that. As we go to the fourth question. Which managing director of 9X Media and former veteran of the Times of India group did this nation lose in August 2021? He was a great man who built many brands for the Times of India group, including the glamour and glitz that came to the Filmfare Awards. From the world of advertising and media, who passed away. Rather premature passing, if one should say. None on the buzzer. The answer that I was looking for, 5 seconds passing, Mr. Pradeep Guha. Great tycoon from the media world in India. A lot of techie guys here to know media beyond that. Question number 5. This could be down their alley. Here it comes. It's an electronic giant which works on the principle of the right heat. Promoted by Alia Bhatt for their Thermo Protect hair straighteners, who works on the concept of heat for hair straightening. It's a concept that has been, Siddharth has gone for it. Yes, Siddharth?
Philips.
+1. Siddharth is gaining and losing and gaining, so he's back to +1, so he's not going to be complaining. As we go to question number 6. It's an Italian-Dutch multinational, the makers of a confectionery set and gum. They give us great brands. Rahul's going for it. Yes, Rahul?
Perfetti Van Melle.
+1. +1 to you on Perfetti Van Melle. That's absolutely right. So Rahul gets to 1 as well. So 3 of them on 1 with 4 questions to go. Question number 7. This Swiss company announced that it will offer elevators on equated monthly installments to housing societies and apartment associations in India. It's a path-breaking move by which giant in the elevator business? Swiss giant. Elevator business. Aditya's giving it a go. He should know a thing or two about elevators. Yes?
Is it Otis?
Oh, -1 to you. It's Schindler.
Schindler.
He took a shot on that one and a -1 to him. As we go to the next one, hands on the buzzer. Novi, N-O-V-I, is a new proposal for a digital wallet that would let users use and store cryptocurrency. Which social media giant is behind Novi? Anthony's going for it.
Facebook.
With that +1, I think Anthony has secured a place for himself in the final because he really can't finish 4th from here, even if he chooses to take, he can still take 2 minuses, but I'm sure he's not going to do that. Smile. He says, I'm not going to do that. Big brain. He's on +2. On 1 is Rahul. On 1 is Siddharth. They're going to be watching it carefully. The others will have to play out. Aditya will have to negate that very quickly. 2 questions remaining. Penultimate one. Who in India, recognizing the great talent that is available, is celebrating the incredible art of photography with the launch of something called Your Lens? It basically encourages photo enthusiasts to share their best clicks. And this entity has represented in many ways a benchmark in top-class photography world over. Which entity from the world of publishing are we talking about? Known for their iconic photography. Yutish is giving it a shot. Yeah, Yutish?
I'm going to guess Getty Images.
Oh, I said publishing. You're thinking digital. The answer, National Geographic. Nat Geo, known for its amazing photography. Well, on 1 apiece, it's Rahul and Siddharth on a tight hook. Aniruddha can get 1 and force a tiebreaker. Final question. We all know that FICCI stands for Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce. What does DICCI, D-I-C-C-I, stand for? It's a very, very important Chamber of Commerce. Or what does the D stand for? Yutish is giving it a shot. Yes, Yutish?
Digital.
Well, this is what happens when you're in Pune for too long. -1 to you on that. The answer is Dalit Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Empowerment is always important. Then comes digital as a tool for empowerment. But for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, with that wildcard, we've got 3 of them qualifying. Anthony with a clear 2 from Cognizant, Rahul with 1, and Siddharth with 1. So those are the 3 who will go in from the first wildcard. But for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, as you are watching this, on the other side, the other wildcard to identify the remaining 3. But till then, do stay tuned as we will get these 3 back into the final. For now, let's move to the next wildcard. Hello friends, and a warm welcome to all of you from me, Pig Brain, as we are going to take on cluster number 8. It includes all the rest of Maharashtra and Goa. For the moment, all of them do understand the rules and the protocols, and 5 seconds is the window of opportunity for them. No 2 attempts, there's only 1 attempt on a question, and we're really happy all the contestants gave a self-declaration which allows us to monitor their screens individually as they are taking part in this contest. However, 5 seconds is all that they've got in terms of time to understand what I'm asking and to score. +1 is what they can score if they get right. -1 is what they'll get if they get it wrong. Remember, if you're watching this quiz, we will not be able to show you the buzzer indicator lights for the wildcards, and we will show that during the final. What is also important is the audience questions will all come to you in the final that will immediately follow this wildcard. Remember, 3 will walk through from these 6 into what would be the rest of Maharashtra and Goa final. For now, let's take a look at who our 6 are here today before we get started to identify the remaining 3. For now, starting with the lone lady who's battling among all of them here today in this final, representing Ernst & Young, we have with us Ashwarya. Welcome to you. Neighboring her as our second contestant from Virtuous Retail with us is Pratyush. Welcome, Pratyush. As our third finalist here today from the financial sector of Bajaj Finserv with us is Niladri. Welcome, Niladri. Neighboring Niladri as our fourth contender on the other side from the world of consulting, representing KPMG, is Kritik. Welcome to you. Neighboring Kritik from ZS Associates here today is Shubh. Welcome, Shubh, to the final. And completing our lineup here today from DPA is Abhinash. Welcome, Abhinash. Those then, ladies and gentlemen, are 6 contenders, of whom 3 will qualify. Time for us to get started. +1, -1. If they hit the buzzer and stop me while I'm reading the question, they're indicating that they know the answer. All right, guys, if you're ready, question number 1. Which confectionery brand has launched something called Mix Up, which it claims is India's first ever dual color, dual flavored lollipops? It's a brand that comes to you from Perfetti Van Melle. Lot of promos for that. None. Kritik is on the buzzer. He's giving it a shot. Yeah, Kritik.
Jolly Rancher.
Oh, -1 to you on that. It's Chupa Chup, a brand that's really becoming very popular with the kids. As we go to the second one, hands on the buzzer. Which company has acquired the license to manufacture and market under the BPL and Kelvinator brand names in India? Abhinash. It's an interesting move in India. Yes, Abhinash?
It's Reliance Retail.
Well played. +1 to you. Reliance Retail taking the license for the names BPL and Kelvinator. Clever move. Question number 3. Which soft drink brand was started in 1889 in Mumbai by Diswanji Kuvarji Pandole? It remains popular with Mumbaikars even to this day, especially for its flavor range, unique bottle shape, later sold, of course, to Pepsi. But how do we know this brand? Famous brand from Maharashtra. Pratyush.
Is it Leher?
-1 to you. The answer I was looking for is Duke. Duke's is a very famous brand, local from Maharashtra. -1 to Pratyush on that. Here's the next one. Well, when it's Pune, you got a few IT questions. Here's one. Which Indian IT solutions provider, led by Nitin Rakesh as its CEO, recently unveiled a new positioning for themselves as engineering is in our DNA? They basically want to unlock next generation customer transformation. Shubh has gone for it. Yeah, Shubh.
Yeah, so I'll go with Memphis.
Emphasis. Give it to you.
I'm sorry.
Give it to you on the pronunciation. That's fair enough. He'll get himself a 1-pointer on that. Emphasis is perfectly correct. Question number 5. This concept was originally used to engage physicians or doctors about new pharma products. It was created as a concept by a person named George Silverman, a psychologist, who basically called it teleconferenced peer influence groups. How do we know this form of marketing? It's a very powerful form of marketing, where doctors were used as peer influence groups. How do we know this in common language? It's a very powerful, very important for brands. 3-word term. Oh, nobody going for it. Time lapsing on that. I think everyone's going to kick themselves when I give the answer. The answer is simple. Word of mouth marketing. Word of mouth is what made the doctors refer to another doctor, and that was called word of mouth marketing. Here's the next one. Hands on the buzzer. Who is referred to as, in terms of which sector is referred to as gold collar workers? Is it the bank? Oh, Niladri has gone for it without my choices. Yes, Niladri.
Is it BFSI sector, banking and financial services industries?
Well, -1 to you. It would be something you would know because you represent that sector, so it's not. The answer is knowledge workers. So the ones who set the gold standard are people who are in knowledge and research and consultancy, and these are people who are called knowledge workers or gold-collared workers. Here's question number 7. Which automobile brand, made like a gun, has rolled out a new digital film called Home, which captures the joy of returning home after a long journey? Abhinash.
Guessing from Made Like a Gun or Royal Enfield Bullet.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, he'll get a +1. 3 questions to go. I think on +2 he is safe. Question number 8. In the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, to monitor the timings of the athletes, electronic printer 101, Kritik has gone for it.
Epson.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. He's worked that out. The electronic printer 101 was introduced. The next version was called the Sun of the electronic printer, hence EP Sun, which means the Sun of the electronic printer, therefore the brand name Epson. Kritik will get a +1 and negate his negative. He needs to play well on the next 2 questions. Aishwarya needs one of those two questions to get into the final herself. Kritik needs one of those two. Shubh might just wait and watch. Abhinash for sure is through. Penultimate question. The original name when they started out was Totem Stores. T-O-T-E, Totem Stores. However, they renamed themselves basically on the timings when they were open. Who are we talking about? An outlet decided to name themselves on the timings that they were open. Therefore, their name even to this day. Niladri is giving it a shot.
Is it 7-Eleven?
7-Eleven, open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Absolutely right. Beautifully played. Oh, Niladri gets back. We've got a three-way battle now. Kritik, Niladri and Aishwarya. I think Shubh is also through because unless he takes a negative, he can't really fall back from here. So two of them will go through, Shubh and Abhinash, as we move to the final question. IZH is a Russian bike manufacturer. They have a huge brand presence in India and parts of Asia for a brand from another division of their company, Niladri. IZH. Go ahead.
Is it ESD, which was part of?
Well, he gets a -1 on that. Tough last question because your region is a tough one. The answer that I was looking for was actually AK-47 rifles. It's a company which makes bikes. It's a company which also makes the AK-47s, which ironically is more popular and more available in this region of the world than their bikes. So Niladri will crash out as he takes a negative. Pratyush will miss out. It's a tiebreaker between Aishwarya and Kritik. Whoever gets it right will move into the final as Shubh and Abhinash have already made it to the final. All right. Question to both of you. And let's see who gets it right. Okay, here we go. This famous brand in India now has partnered with the Maharashtra government and the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, which is better known as BMC, to distribute masks across Mumbai, where Mumbaikars dressed in red jumpsuits and with sort of Salvador Dali inspired masks with characters of OTT shows like Money Heist, seen distributing masks on the streets of Mumbai. Which modern platform tied up with the Maharashtra government? Aishwarya is giving it a shot. Go ahead.
Is it Netflix?
Well, if that's a guess, that's a good guess. It takes her into the final on that tiebreaker. She gets it right and puts herself in the top 6 of this region. 3 of them, therefore, going through. Aishwarya on the tiebreaker, Shubh from ZS Associates, and Abhinash from TPA. We'll see them with the other 3 on the other side in the rest of Maharashtra Goa final as we let go of Kritik, Pratyush, and Niladri. But ladies and gentlemen, on the other side is the big final. Don't go away. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Pig Brain, here today, and it is indeed my pleasure to present to you a cluster which has some outstanding teams. Cluster 8, representing the rest of Maharashtra. That's just leaving out Mumbai and Navi Mumbai, of course. Now it's part of Mumbai in Tata Crucible, and includes Goa. The 2021 edition. Before we move on to take a look at our finalists, well, this is a region that traditionally does well. So time for us to move in and see who are the 6 who've made it from the wildcards. Here they are. We'll begin with our first finalist here today, representing Shivraj overseas. With us here today is Rahul. Welcome, Rahul, to the final. Neighboring Rahul as our second finalist from the technology domain From Cognizant, it's Anthony. Welcome, Anthony, to the final. Neighboring Anthony, also from the IT services domain, from BMC Software, we have with us Siddharth. Welcome to you. As we cut across to the lone lady powering her way into this final, representing the consulting domain of Ernst & Young, is Aishwarya. Welcome to you. Moving across to another Pune entity, ZS Associates, representing them this year, Shubh in the final. Welcome to you. And completing this lineup from the analytics space, representing DPA, is Abhinash. Welcome to the final. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are our 6 finalists from this region as we move to play Tata Crucible to identify one among them who will be in the nation's top 12. For now, as we move into playing this game where we test their strength, strategy, and speed, which is really what we're going to require as we move forward into a post-pandemic world, let's begin by testing their strength. Here it comes. 100, the value of a right answer. Urge you to hold your buzzers up as we're going to get started. We unlock your buzzers and the battle begins. Question number 1 on your screen, 100 the value. Here it comes. If this champion boxer's first port of call was Rusa Mehta, the son of industrialist Homi Mehta, who said no to his idea, who was the next person he went to meet with his idea? A big moment and a good question to ask currently. He was not just a boxer. Well, he also had a passion which made him go to 2 people. The second person said yes to his idea. Well, 5 seconds of time running away. The second person he met was none less than J.R.D. Tata. This is Neville Vincent, the man who actually made the Tata start Tata Airlines, which eventually became Air India. Well, might become Tata Airlines all over again, who knows? But for the moment, nobody scoring anything on that one. As we move to the second one, on your screens now. This gentleman is believed to have shaped the modern Olympic movement. A man with great vision, great skill, great ability to advocate things. He was seen more like a CEO in an era when the term was never used. Who is this great man behind the Olympic revolution, known to be a powerful manager? His name is synonymous with Olympics. Tough one. 5 seconds of time running away. No one trying on that. The answer is Pierre Coubertin, the man who really shaped. Everyone says, man, I should have got that. Look at the reaction from Anthony and Abhinash. Here's the next one. Hands on the buzzer. Here we go. It's the trading name of an operator. Rocket Science Group, an American company founded in 2001, has a very popular email marketing service. How does the world know it? Cutely, as it's named. Shubh has gone for it. Yes, Shubh?
Yeah, taking a risk just from your hint of cutely named. Is it MailChimp?
We'll give you the first 100. All right, taking Pig Brain seriously, Shubh gets 100 on that one. Good to get on the right side, but don't ever take me too seriously. Anyway, here's the next one. I can let you down heavily. Here's the next one on your screens now. What was started by these 2 people? A story that began in 1945. 2 men on a mission, both with the same name, while one of it had to change. Yes, Abhinash is taking a shot.
Mahindra and Mahindra. And the partner is Mohammed, who went to Pakistan after the partition.
So one name had to leave and then both names became the same. So Mahindra and Mahindra, Abhinash 100. Well played on that one. He read between the lines beautifully. As we go to the fifth one, hands on the buzzer, here it comes. It's a powerful cover which says, Defenders of Our Freedom. It was a very powerful cover celebrating the rise of women in the ranks of our armed forces. Which magazine carried this cover? Very logically, Shubh is giving it a shot, yes?
Femina.
Plus 100 to you. Well, Aishwarya was just a little slow on that and she was rooting for the buzzer as well. But Shubh gets 100 as we go to the final question in this round on your screen now. Lux was the original name. This was the forerunner to which famous company? Nothing to do with the cosmetic brand. Lux was the previous name of a great company as we know it today. How do we know Lux in the modern world? Very workable question. Think like an engineer. Nobody on that one, 5 seconds of time, running away. The answer, and you're going to kick yourselves on this one, is Electrolux. Well, life can be so easy sometimes. Lux evolved over a period of time to become Electrolux. So, ladies and gentlemen, early days in this battle, but I'm going to start by asking you an audience question. All you got to do is to key into those text boxes wherever you're watching this quiz. If you're quick and correct, you stand to win a prize from the Tatas. Well, let me ask you this. It's a rare entity which provides fantastic consultancy services, and the consultancy division is called NABCons. NABCONS. They offer consultancy in areas largely like agriculture, rural development, and allied areas. All you got to tell me is which financial institution in India would you associate to NABCons? Key in your answers. As we take a look at Crucible Quotient coming up on your screen, here it is. Crucible Quotient shows you that no one's really run away with this quiz. Abhinash on 100, Shubh on 200 early starters. So it's almost like we're starting out as we move into the second frontier of our game, as these contestants will show us their strategy. Here it comes. As we begin with the first one coming up on their screens now. 8 o'clock coffee has a tie-up with a very important brand. Someone has gone for it. It's Siddharth. Who do they have a tie-up with? Go on.
Tata Global Beverages.
Well, that's the ownership. So minus 100 to you. Taking a very big risk on that. It's a Dutch firm whose name stands for excellence. Is Keurig. And they produce the K-Pods for 8 o'clock. Tough questions. Well, you come from a region which is a tough region. So wait for me to ask the questions. Moving on to our second question here in this frontier, coming up on your screen now. Though the origins of this are not necessarily so well known, their popularity is attributed to the carnival cruises that normally happen. It featured its debut in 1991. It's a very, very special form of art performed using what product? It's often seen in the hospitality industry. It's a form of art. Abhinash is going for it. Yes, Abhinash.
Making of ducks using towels.
Towel art. So you actually use towels. Very well played. He'll get himself 100. It's becoming a very popular art. And people pay premiums today to get different forms of art done or to learn those forms of art. New industries evolving as we go to the next one. Abhinash also, I think, gets to a 200 with that answer. On your screen, the next one coming up now. Jonah and Felicia created something fantastic, a new age media company. Anybody going for it? Oh, Abhinash is going. Yes, Abhinash. What do you think the answer is? Yeah, go ahead.
BuzzFeed.
Well played. Extremely well played. Good guess. He took a half chance on that. But I think if you knew even Jonah, that should have taken you to the answer. Question number 4. Hands on that buzzer. Here we go on your screen now. Project J Preservation Group. This group was formed to preserve the early models of a famous brand that would have essentially been named something else in those days. What it is basically, Shubh is going for it. Yes, Shubh.
Okay. So yeah, so they are preserving basically the early Land Rovers.
Oh, preservation of Land Rovers.
Yeah.
100 to Shubh. Very, very high quality answer. That's a good one. He gets 100. As we go to the next one on your screen, here it comes. EMV Co. facilitates worldwide interoperability and acceptance of basically secure payments and cashless transactions. The EMV is essentially a trademark that goes back to around about 1999. What does E, M, and V stand for? Very workable answer. M and V are easy to crack, given that I've told you. Siddharth is taking a shot. Yes, Siddharth.
Is it electric motor vehicle?
Oh my God. Well, minus 100 to you. I told you secure payments. Well, the answer is Euro for MasterCard and Visa card. Well, tough one, but I thought you will crack that. A minus 100 to him. He's taking his chances, and that's a good way to play. As we go to the next one on your screen now. In 1973, a particular name was objected, and therefore Premier got named as Padmini. What was the name that was objected because it referred to something very important in India as a position? What was Premier supposed to be called? Premier dash. They said you can't call it that. It refers to an important position in India. Therefore, it became Premier Padmini. Siddharth.
Is it president?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. President is the name of a car in other countries, and in India they wanted to call it Premier President. The government objected to it, and therefore it became Premier Padmini. He regains 100 on that as we go to the next one on your screen now. What is this form of economics called by Kate Rayworth? It essentially refers to a food item. Dash economics. Ashwarya.
Donut economics.
Donut economics. 7 ways to look at the 21st century. 100 to her. She gets that absolutely right. Donut economics is a new form of looking at modern economics in the world. As we go to the next one, overall answer is a famous personality. Question on your screen. You got to think lateral. Here it comes. The Hebrew University, Disney, Green Light, and Princeton University. All of this will lead you to a great personality from world history. Ashwarya is giving it a chance. World of science, world of history. Yes, Ashwarya.
I'm gonna just try Walt Disney.
No,
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't have put Disney if the answer was Walt Disney. Minus 100 to you. The answer is Albert Einstein. Einstein had a lot to do with Disney. Einstein is behind Greenlight. In fact, is famous for managing the Twitter account also currently of Albert Einstein. So the answer I was looking for, Einstein, she'll get a minus 100, negates the 100 she got. As we go to the next one on your screens now. This is an extremely important brand, once owned by Reckitt. Hence, well, the name that Reckitt got over a period of time. Currently owned by Unilever. Dorothy Sayers, the famous English crime writer, created slogans for this brand, while it once owned Robinson's Water. What are we talking about that lent a very important part to the Reckitt enterprise? Anthony is giving it a shot. Yes, Anthony. Your mic is off, Anthony. Go on.
Just repeat the last part. I just missed the last.
What did it contribute to the Reckitt legacy, I said? Well, you've lost on time on that one. You're on the buzzer, which means you know the answer, or you claim to know the answer. Minus 100 to you for not giving us an answer on the buzzer. Hard luck to you. The answer is Coleman's Mustard. The Coleman Mustard brand is what actually made Reckitt Coleman. And that's why they were Reckitt Coleman for a very large period of time. Here's the next one on your screens now. All of this will lead you to a famous drink, a beverage that was very popular for its own unique taste. Green Label had a wonderful tangy taste from the world of, well, beverages. I don't want to say more. Someone's going for it. Rahul it is. He's giving it a shot. Yes, Rahul?
Tang.
Tang, minus 100. Well, he took a wrong route on that one. Very clearly, I said Green Label. There's also the mascot. The answer that I was looking for and turned out to be a tough one here today is Mountain Dew. They actually approached Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola refused and said, we are not interested, and Pepsi acquired them. So it was a huge loss for Coca-Cola and a gain for Pepsi. Mountain Dew, the answer. Minus 100 to Rahul. The quiz is slowly becoming nervous. Shubh on 300, Abhinash on 300, but I'll take a look at the scores after the next couple of questions. Here's the penultimate one in this segment coming up on your screen now. All of this will lead you to a very important brand, including a quiz competition. Shubh!
Bonvita.
You got to give me a...
That Bonvita quiz contest and their colors on the double-decker bus. So my answer would be
Your
Bonvita.
overall answer would be what?
Cadbury, maybe. Cadbury.
Your overall answer is Cadbury. Correcting himself quickly, plus 100.
Yeah, because
Plus 100.
overall.
Plus 100.
Okay.
Overall answer will lead you to Cadbury. Absolutely played well. The company chose purple as its branding. It stays purple even to this day because purple was the favorite color of Queen Victoria and she lends that color. Well, as a coincidence, my kurta is purple today as well. So we'll pay a tribute to Queen Victoria. As we go to the final question, hands on the buzzer, he gets a crucial 100. It takes him beyond Abhinash for the moment. On your screen, the final question in this frontier. Here it comes. Well, all of these from Doonesbury will lead you to a famous brand. Very workable answer, Doonesbury. Burger King, interestingly, they acquired it in the 60s, is this famous entity. The really easy part is Doonesbury, which gets its name, world of comics. 5 seconds running out and nobody on the buzzer. No one, I think, wants to take a negative. I think it's the pressure of the negatives that's playing out in this region here today. The answer is Pillsbury, the Doughboy, the Pillsbury Doughboy. Oh, everyone's saying, my God, we should have got it. Look at the expressions there. So, ladies and gentlemen, with 2 rounds done, we've got a head-on-head battle brewing between Shubh and Abhinash. But before I show you the actual scores, let me ask you a couple more audience questions. This cola drink was marketed as the Great Indian Taste. It was created by Pure Drinks in the 1970s in India. How do we know this cola? Well, if you're a young kid in school or college, ask your dad or mom. In the answers quickly as we go to the next question. Okay, let me ask something which is child-friendly. It's a Procter & Gamble brand, so it's still a brand, but I'll make it simple. It shares its name from a character that appears in William Shakespeare's Tempest, and it also means Lion of God in mythology. It's a brand of detergent. Crack the answer and put it into that text box. For the moment, let's take a look at this big battle that's brewing from this cluster. On your screen, Crucible Quotient. Shubh from ZS Associates is ahead, but marginally on 400. Aishwarya is not out of the game. She needs 1 or 2 good shots to get back. Abhinash is on 300. The rest have a lot of work to do. As we move to the final frontier of our game here today, it's time where they literally need to put up some amount of speed. Here it comes. On the final frontier, I've got 6 questions for you. Nothing appears on your screen. You get a plus 100 if you get it right, a minus 100 if you get it wrong. And the whole game is about you deciding when to buzz and stopping your opponents from getting ahead of you. So it's about speed. The moment you hit the buzzer, I stop reading the question. 6 of them, nothing on your screen, only hear me out. So if you are ready, hands on the buzzer, the final 6 questions will determine who goes through from this cluster to the nation's top 12. Starting with the first one, hands on the buzzer. Dollar Bahu is a book authored by a lady who worked a lot in her life in Pune. She is a lady who's also associated with an extremely important business enterprise in India. Her husband, an iconic Indian, and Rahul's gone for it. Yes, Rahul.
Sudhamurthy. Sudhamurthy.
Sudhamurthy is absolutely right. He'll get himself 100 on that. And Rahul moving up into the pluses again. He's on to 100 with that Oro. He negates his negative. I think he was on minus 100 as well. As we go to the next one, hands on the buzzer. Their merchandise ranges from t-shirts, hats, keys, etc. and brings them $2.5 billion in sales only on merchandise. That's sometimes slightly more than the revenue they get by selling cars. That's the value of this brand. They also have a church bell that rings whenever they win a race. Rahul's going for it. Yes, Rahul.
Ferrari.
Well, in a round on speed, Ferrari has to feature. Plus 100. Rahul's making a comeback. Well, is he going to do a Ferrari in the last lap? 4 questions to go. If he can get all the 4 right, he's going to do the unthinkable. All right, he looks up to God. Well, here's the next one. Question number 3. The Forbes Fictional 15 was a list of Forbes' business in the magazine with the 15 richest people from the world or realm of fiction. However, because of public protests, who was removed from that list? Abhinash.
I'm guessing Santa Claus.
Oh, Forbes rated
He was
Santa Claus
removed.
as one of the richest fictional characters, and people said, it's not fictional, we believe it's real, so you got to take it out of that list. Absolutely perfect. Abhinash getting a crucial 100, drawing level with Shubh on 400 apiece with 3 questions to go. Well, game on. Question number 4 in this round. They launched an automotive breakthrough in 1913 through the lighting systems. Comprising of a generator, battery, voltage regulator, etc. This was the first complete system. It created the basis for what is today known as the automotive electrical systems. They also gave the world spark plugs, which sparked engineering, as they said. From Germany, with great presence in India, Siddharth has gone for it.
Bosch.
Perfect.
Robert Bosch.
He'll get himself 100 on that one. Robert Bosch is the absolutely correct answer. He'll get himself 100 to get back to nil. 2 questions remaining. It's literally now a battle between Shubh and Abhinash. Penultimate question. The first version of this was designed by Benjamin Franklin, had the insignia, "Mind your business," instead of the modern design, "In God we trust." It had 13 chain rings on the back representing 13 states. What first in the United States am I describing? Siddharth is giving it a shot.
Is it the US dollar note?
Well, minus 100 to you. The first US coin. The coinage from the US and not the currency, as in printed notes. Final question. I think it's literally between Shubh and Abhinash. Let's see who's going to go for it. The final question. In 1983, this musical legend advised Michael Jackson to invest in music rights. Jackson turned out and purchased 251 of Beatles' songs for $47 million. Who advised him for him to end up buying Beatles songs? Crafty question. Who advised Michael Jackson to invest in music rights? Michael Jackson turned around and bought 251 of Beatles songs for $47 million. Shubh, Abhinash. Anthony going for it. So we're going to have a tiebreaker. Yes, Anthony?
I'm simply guessing it is John McCarthy.
Paul McCartney. Well,
Paul McCartney, sorry.
Fair enough. Give it to you on McCartney. Rush of blood. It doesn't make a difference to your outcome, so I'm going to be lenient. But he gets 100 on that. But I really appreciate Anthony waiting for either Shubh or Abhinash to take a fair chance because he knew that would be a decider. But ladies and gentlemen, a phenomenal final from this cluster. We'll take a look at what Crucible Quotient has to say. Here it comes. Oh, we've got a tiebreaker between Shubh from ZS Associates and Abhinash from DPA. Whoever gets the tiebreaker right is going to go into the nation's top 12. One question at a time between the two of you. Whoever gets it right goes through. Well, let me start with the first one, if both of you are ready. This famous group is widely respected in Singapore. It's named after a British ship captain who arrived in Singapore around about 1847, 1848. There's also an island that is named after him. Abhinash has given it a go.
Thomas Cook.
Thomas Cook. I really don't know if he ever visited Singapore. Well, you've challenged my quizzing knowledge, but I will check on that. I don't think he ever did. But anyway, the answer is not Thomas Cook. So Shubh from ZS Associates will emerge the champion here today. The answer is Henry Keppel. The Keppel group of companies are huge in Singapore. the Keppel Island, the Keppel Bay, all of that in Singapore is named after the ship captain who came into Singapore. He first arrived sometime around 1847-48. Abhinash playing a great game and finishing runner-up here today. But ladies and gentlemen, before we move any further, to congratulate these two wonderful quizzers and the remaining four of them for making it this far. And it's thousands and thousands of people, from which 6 of them make it now in this digital version. It's my pleasure, privilege, to at this stage bring in the Managing Director of Tata Steel BSL. Truly a pleasure and honor to have the commitment of all the senior folks of the Tatas as we bring this to you digitally, Mr. Rajiv Singhal. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Truly a pleasure to have you with us. Your reaction to this, sir. Let's start with you.
Well, it's a very good forum and it's really gained popularity over a period of time. In you millennials, we see hope and transformation. You are fearless, innovative, and always ready to take up challenges, and that I'm sure will make the country great. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank each one of you, the winners and the participants of this cluster, and would thank the entire Tata Crucible team for making this competition one of the most sought after. So thank you, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.
Extremely well said, sir. And yes, truly they are fearless, which is a beautiful observation. But I think it's the patronage of senior people like you, even through difficult times like this, that the celebration of knowledge must continue, learning must continue, that a Tata Crucible continues to charm the audiences. In fact, a year ago, we had more than 4 million people watching Tata Crucible in its digital avatar. So thank you so much for that patronage. We request you to stand by for just a moment to do the digital honors. The runner-up, ladies and gentlemen, here today, Abhinash from DPA. Here it comes. 18,000 to young Abhinash from the analytic world. He will win himself the runner-up title. But ladies and gentlemen, going into the nation's top 12, representing ZS Associates as our champion, Shub with 35,000. Extremely well done. And ladies and gentlemen, time for us to thank our guest of honor, a very senior member of the Tata fraternity. Truly appreciate your time and presence, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of that remarkable tiebreaker and that final, Abhinash missing out, while Shub from ZS Associates will go through to represent the region in the nation's top 12. We will be back with you with yet another cluster. Till then, from me, Pig Brain, from all of us here at Team Tata Crucible, thank you for tuning in. Goodbye, take care, and stay safe.